Let's get some more on this and catch up with the Australian Chamber of Commerce. I'm joined by David Alexander, who's the Chief of Policy and Advocacy there. Good to talk to you again, David. Your organisation has been out there.
Hi, Chris.
You're committed to net zero by 2050, the way just about everybody in major industries is. But you're saying that this 82% renewables by 2030 target is just unachievable, right?
Yeah, there's been quite a few smoke signals for quite a while from the regulators, but also from businesses on the ground increasingly that that target is in doubt. So we share that concern that target is in doubt. Partly the concerns from businesses really are arising from increased costs that they're facing, and they're concerned about the current level of costs, but also looking at the future. They're really not seeing a future where costs are going to come down. So we think one specific thing that we're asking for, and we put this forth in our policy recommendation manifesto last week, was need some more transparency from the government, whoever that is, through the election, on the journey and the costs. So, as you say, we support the journey to net zero, but we need to, everyone needs to, the community, investors need more transparency around what are we really facing? Because as much as everyone would like to believe that renewables will be cheaper, maybe they will be, maybe they won't. But what we're seeing right now is that energy costs are rising, and it's putting a great challenge on business. And so we think that transparency is necessary for building confidence that we're going in the right direction. We don't want surprises down the track that, we've headed off in the wrong path. The earlier you get good information, you can course correct to adapt.
Yeah, this is the problem. There's a focus on nuclear and what that would cost, and quite rightly so, although their costs are amortised over 75 to 80 years. But we don't know what this renewables plan will cost. They won't come up with a total figure. The other point there, that additional to cost, David, that must concern you, is that it's never been done before. No modern economy has gone to a renewables plus storage model. So we don't even know whether their plan will work.
Well, that's true. We are leaping in the dark a bit, and that's why maximum transparency is necessary. You need to bring the community along with you. There needs to be a sense that we know where we're going and this is achievable. Of course, that needs constant monitoring. It may have been for a certain period, but who knows the next phase, because we're getting into the harder phase, the harder to abate sectors. So to date, it's mostly been about electricity abatement, but then already there's increasing focus on things like agriculture and transport, and you can see that those are going to be enormously sensitive.
So obviously what we need to do, the renewables are around to some degree forever, we know that, and nuclear may or may not happen. But regardless of what happens in the medium to long term, we need more gas-fired generation in this country, don't we, to get us through, to keep prices manageable, and more importantly, to keep supplies secure.
Yes, we specifically think that more gas supply would help to put downward pressure on price. It's pretty obvious, more supply, reduced pressure on price. And so there's a bit of a strange approach to gas in the mix. It has been treated in a pretty poor way. Now there seems to be more of an embrace of it. But there's a number of policies where gas is still treated as a villain. So it's excluded from the capacity investment scheme. And of course, it was a big target of a huge push for price controls and price caps. And that sort of thing has really impacted on the gas sector. And so, again, you see the flow-through effects where there's diminished supply. Investors are reluctant to go into that area because they just think they'll be burnt.
David Alexander, thanks so much for joining us.